everybody, so today's video is going to be my October wrap-up and my November TBR. So let's get into it. So I'm currently in Scotland. That's why I'm uploading this video so late, is because I don't have any Wi-Fi where I am. Well, I do have Wi-Fi, but it doesn't upload videos very quickly. If it does, it takes days. So I'm currently in Edinburgh on like a separate trip, just visiting friends and everything for the day. So I'm planning on using all their Wi-Fi in that whole entire city to upload videos for you guys. So that should be interesting. But I decided to come to you a little bit later this month with my TBR and wrap up. So I apologize for that, but here you go. Here it is. So let's get started. So the first book I read last month was Stalking Jack the Ripper, and this book was one of my favorite reads of this year so far. It's about this girl who loves Jack the Ripper, and you have to figure out who he is. And it's so good. She goes on this manhunt for him, and she teams up with this guy, and it's just so freaking good because you never know who's Jack the Ripper. It always takes you on twists and turns, and the whole entire story is just phenomenal. I definitely gave that book a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read this month was the Utopia Book Club book of the month for October, and that was Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. This book is a Snow King retelling, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Danielle is a good friend of mine, and I'm so proud of her with this novel. This novel was such a great retelling. I call her the retellings queen because she also has another series called Dorothy Must Die, and that is a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, and it is so good. So I really enjoyed the Snow King retelling because it definitely had a new twist on the original story. And the last book I read last month was The Shallow Graves, and I really wanted to read this book for a while now, but I kind of forgot about it, and then I got it, and then I was so happy because I was on a really big mystery kick, and I still kind of am. I've fallen in love with mystery novels, which is something I thought I never would say, and I actually have really enjoyed reading them recently. And The Shallow Graves is another mystery novel about this girl whose father shot himself, but it turns out he didn't actually shoot himself, and he was murdered, and she needs to find out how he was murdered. She has to team up with this other reporter, and it's their job to go find out who actually killed him. And it's such a phenomenal novel. It's so interesting, gripping, and I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. Okay, so now for my TBR for November, and I'm only using 3 books out of the books I brought to Scotland with me because I don't want to put all of them in because I already made a separate video of books I brought to Scotland. So here's a little teaser as to what books I shall be reading this month. So the first book I shall be reading this month is Empire Storms by Sarah J. Maas, and I've been really severely stalling on reading this book. I don't know why. I'm really excited to read it, but I just haven't had the time to just sit down and read. But now that I'm in Scotland, I do, and even if I don't read it while I'm in Scotland, I'll read it when I get back home to Texas. So I'm really excited to read it, especially because so many people have been freaking out over the ending, and I want to be a part of those people who freak out. I feel so left out. The next book I am currently reading is The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, and this book is another Jack the Ripper story. I've been really liking Jack the Ripper recently, and this one is about this girl who comes to London for boarding school, and all of a sudden a string of new Jack the Ripper murders starts happening, and she sees this guy who's been at the murder scenes, but only she can see him, and then she finds out she has a new power, and I'm guessing that maybe she's seeing Jack the Ripper, but I don't know what's gonna happen because everybody says this book is so great, so amazing, and very funny. So I'm really excited to get more into it. And then the last book I have is the Utopia Book Club book of the month for November, and that is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. A diabolic is ruthless. A diabolic is powerful. A diabolic has a powerful task. Kill in order to protect the person you've been created for. This book sounds so phenomenal. I've heard great things about it, especially with reviews and just great starter reviews, and I am so excited because it is a science fiction novel, and I haven't read a really great science fiction novel in a long time because I've been really into fantasy and historical fiction recently, so I'm really excited to get into this, and I cannot wait for you guys to get into it as well with Reagan and I this month for the book club. I have a link in the book club down below along with all the links for the books I mentioned in today's video. So guys, that is all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what books you plan on reading this month. I would love to know. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!